Hi, my name's Denny Jagard, Dennys Jagard. I'm in Boise, Idaho for the last 13 years. I'm from Los Angeles, California. I do sound for events, mostly concerts, but also any kind of event where there's groups of people who need microphones louder and music or any kind of production. Probably the biggest event I've been involved with was I was Prince's sound engineer in 2006, 2007. And for like the Super Bowl and whatnot, that was probably the biggest profile. But in between those kind of jobs, I've done hundreds and hundreds of graduations, USC, Cal State Northridge, but even down to like preschools. Like I've done sound at churches and conventions, and anywhere there's a group of people who, and they have a microphone, they need somebody to help make sure that people can hear. How long have I been in the industry? I am almost 52, and when I was 11, when I was 79, in 1979, when I was 11 years old, I started doing sound. I was helping my grandfather, who was the sound engineer at the Richmond Auditorium in Northern California, and they'd had multiple graduations, high school graduations in that facility, and so he would let me mix the high school graduations while he slept, pretty much. That's where I got my start. So 1979, so what is that, 41 years? When did my world stop? Well, pretty much, in March, as soon as the pandemic started going, everything shut down, live concerts and whatnot. And I have some local customers that tried to do things here and there, and I went out with masks and stuff and was just really cautious. But there wasn't any like significant income, kind of basically ending in March. What was my 2020 plan was touring through the summer for concerts, and then into the fall, the same thing, concerts mostly. But I've been working with AV companies who have been doing like a lot of pharmaceutical conventions and type of thing, where I'd fly out and in 2 weeks we'd do sound for a convention, and there'd be big general sessions with people talking with wireless microphones, and then breakouts into rooms and have video and whatnot involved. And so that was my 2020 plan, but it was also predicated on, I had a major tour that was booked from January to June of 2021, and that tour is now tentatively starting in September. So basically I have a great job set for September of 2021, 14 months from now. And so, so in the next 14 months, I'm gonna do everything I can to feed my wife and 2 kids. And I got a couple of doggies here. The gratuitous doggy shot. They're a little bored while I'm working on this instead of playing with them. Meanwhile, my wife is working at Amazon at a distribution warehouse in the middle of the night right now, but she comes home and like kind of crippled from the pain of moving boxes for 10 hours straight. And but we're doing whatever we can to try to minimize how much debt we're going into. It's not a question of paying our bills with income. It's a question of how bad is the debt going to go, because there's no way we can pay our bills with an Amazon related income. So we appreciate all the help that's come so far with the unemployment and the PPP loan and whatnot. And but of course we hope to stay liquid and to try to minimize how bad the debt gets, or if we can even keep the home and the vehicles and everything while we prepare for when live events start happening. So we appreciate all the help we can get. This is a kind of peculiar industry where sometimes I'm an employee, sometimes I'm an independent contractor, and so it's kind of difficult to classify us sometimes because of the shifting employment. Because sometimes I'll have an employer for like a year, like a band will tour real heavily for a year, and then all of a sudden they're done and I have to look for work. So it's kind of difficult for things like unemployment system or even taxes in general. It's tricky because I can't tell if I try to dictate to my customers how to treat me as an employee or independent contractor, I basically would lose work. So So our income can be spotty and it can be tricky to get loans, for example. I'd love to refinance the house right now, but because I don't have a job, I can't consolidate my loans because no one's going to give me a mortgage when I don't have a substantial income. So any help you could give us, we appreciate it. We're a particular set of people with a particular set of skills, and these skills are necessary. And we help. I did sound for President Obama. I've done sound for Arnold Schwarzenegger in front of 20,000 people at USC. There is a value to what we do, making people heard, making production, and even just making people happy at concerts. It's important, and it would be a shame if a lot of the highly skilled people in our industry have to shift to different career paths, to where when we get back that there's kind of a loss of skill in our industry. But thanks very much. Again, my name is Denny Jagard, and really appreciate any help y'all can give.